Today was a good day. Hey everybody, I know it's been a while, but I've got a really fantastic summer dish for you today. I'm doing a pan-seared grouper fillet over a mixed bean salad and then finishing that with the muscadine grape chutney. Gonna be pretty fantastic. It's a multi-component dish, so it gives me a really great opportunity to show you how to do a few different things. The first component of that dish that we're going to do is the muscadine grape chutney, which if you're not from the southeast you might not know what a muscadine grape is because they're primarily grown here, but you'll see it's these big thick grapes. They've got a really thick skin on them, and a lot of people get turned off by that, which is why I'm going to cook it down. But I want to leave that skin in there because it's actually really packed full of fiber, more so than, you know, oat bran or, I don't know, any kind of whole grain really for that matter. And then I was doing some reading on the muscadine grapes also, and all this is just really just full of antioxidants, so this is actually quite good for you. The way you want to prep these is just using a paring knife. You're going to cut that in half, and they do have a pretty big seed in them that you're going to want to remove. So you just kind of just take the tip of your paring knife and then sort of scrape those out. Just like that. Okay, and that's how those look. You see real beautiful deep red color there. I've got these stewing down over here in some white balsamic. There's also a touch of red wine in there just for the color, and also just kind of cut the acidity of the vinegar. There's about a quarter cup of sugar in there, and that can be adjusted a little bit later if it's not quite sweet enough for you. With this I'm really going for kind of a sweet and spicy mix. So I've got the rest of my ingredients here. Go ahead and chop up this onion. I'm going to just kind of do a real rough chop on everything today, because I think it'll be real pretty in the end. Okay, I should get these seeds out of here. Okay. Alright, and then just kind of just like that. Alright, that's going to go right down into the pot. The other half of that onion I've got soaking right now in some ice water because it's going to be part of our salad, so I'm trying to take the edge off the part that we're going to use raw. Okay. So now this ginger, I'll probably just cut off a little, just a section of that. I don't know, about a 1-inch piece there. You're going to want to get the skin off. Just using a spoon, perfectly sufficient. I'm kind of on the fence right now with the ginger. I don't know if I want to grate it up or if I want to leave big chunks of ginger. Okay. Alright. I think I'm going to do big chunks. I don't feel like grating it. So what we're going to do now is just cut it in half. And just cut it into these kind of narrow strips. Just run your knife across it. Try and keep those cuts really nice and close together. And the reason I want to leave it chunky is because this little burst of ginger that you're going to get when you eat this sauce are going to add a nice textural component and also make it really nice and spicy. Okay. Go to our other side. That all cut up. Okay. Oh. Had one try to sneak out on me. Not so fast, Ginger. Okay. So take the rest of that, throw it down in there. Okay. Alright. Now we're going to do the jalapeno, which you can do as much or as little as you want. people are real sensitive to spice, so you don't have to use this whole jalapeno, or you don't really have to use it at all if you don't want to. Okay, so you just cut that in half. I'm scraping most of the seeds out and that white pith. That's the really kind of super spicy part. So I'm just going to lay it down like that, and then just run my knife through. Okay. Okay, I'm going to finish out the other half here. Put that down in there. Alright, and at this point you're just going to give it a little stir just to make sure everything's pretty well mixed together as it cooks down. Okay. And that's that. That's going to cook down, get real nice and flavorful. You want to give it a pretty good amount of time to stew down to really develop those flavors. That's why it's the first thing I've done for you. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this all up, reset, and we're going to get started on the next part. Okay, so now we're on to our second component of this dish. Really nice summer bean salad. You can see here I've got some sugar snap peas and then butter beans on that side. Right now I've got water coming up to a boil there. We're going to blanch all these off first so they're not quite as fibrous and not so tough to eat. Also it gives them really bright, vibrant color. So while that's happening, I'm waiting for that to come up to temperature. I'm going to get this vinaigrette started. Every classic component of vinaigrette is in this. Our citrus or acid that we're going to use is going to be lemon juice. So we're going to flavor it with some lemon zest, using real nice imported extra virgin olive oil in this, and then we're going to use just a touch of Dijon mustard to sort of hold it all together. A lot of times you'll see mustard in vinaigrettes because it's the emulsifier that just really binds it together so it doesn't separate on you. So the first thing I'm going to do is zest this lemon up. I've got 2 lemons that I'm using today, and then just using a microplaner to kind of zest that into a bowl. The lemon zest is just really nice, beautiful lemon flavor, but it's not quite as acidic as the juice. It's almost like eating a lemon candy, really. Okay, I'm just going to use a little bit of that. Okay, so now I'm going to pop in a little mesh strainer there, because now I'm going to juice these. Then just using a citrus streamer, just kind of go into that. Hopefully the strainer catches most of those seeds. Okay. You could also line this with cheesecloth if you wanted to, or if you happen to let a seed in there, just reach down in and pick it out. It's not that serious. Okay. Yeah, just pulverize those lemons. Okay. Alright, so there you have it. You got your juice of a couple lemons there with the zest. I'm going to just drop that right down into the blender here. I'm going to add a touch of Dijon mustard, just a little bit. The flavor of Dijon mustard can be a little overpowering, but it really does help hold all that together. A lot of times you'll see people use ground mustard also instead of a prepared mustard. That works just fine. A couple cloves of peeled garlic down in there. You want to be careful with fresh garlic because when it's fresh it's spicy and you've got to watch out for that. The nice thing about doing this right now and letting it sit is as that sits in the refrigerator, it's going to really kind of tame that flavor of the garlic and it's going to work its way through. I want onion in this, so I'm using green onion for 2 reasons. Really nice, mild onion flavor, and also I really want this vinaigrette to have a bright, vibrant green color to it. So just throw that down in there. Okay, and then a little bit of parsley. Also down in there. I don't know how my little blender is going to do with this, but we'll see. A little Hamilton Beach smoothie, personal smoothie blender. Okay, we're going to add our olive oil to it. You've got to add enough oil for all that to really kind of blend down into it. So, if you get it started and it's not really blending down, you just need to add a little bit more liquid to it. Alright, so here we go. So that sound right there is golden. That means it's actually blended. So at this point, you want to take a peek in there, Aaron, and show them that. You can see it's just that real beautiful green color. It is going to need some salt and pepper at this point, so give it a taste. Yum. Okay, so now go ahead and hit it with the salt. A fair amount. Some pepper. Okay. And then put it all mixed together. And there you have it. Alright, so I'm going to put that in the fridge. It's going to set while I get those beans going, and it is going to be delicious. Whoa! As you can see, our water has come to a boil. So we're going to go ahead and blanch our beans now. When you buy these sugar snap peas, you're going to notice these little stems and this little kind of fibrous bit right there on the end of it. The easiest way to clean these up, just take a pair of kitchen shears and just clip all that off. When I was little, I used to have to like sit on the back porch and pick each one of those things off. It's horrible. Okay. So I've got some really rapidly boiling salted water. You want to make sure the water's salted because it's really going to impart a lot of flavor into these beans. Dump this right down in there. And at this point we want to let these blanch now for about 5 to 10 minutes just to really kind of soften that, soften those beans up and make them a little bit more pleasurable to eat. And I want to serve this salad cold, so I've got an ice bath over here. The ice bath is going to serve two functions. What's going to happen is it's going to stop the cooking process, so it really kind of seals in that real bright, vibrant green color. It's also going to prevent the beans from getting overcooked, and it's going to cool them down rapidly, so it chills our salad and they'll be ready to go when the fish is done. So I'm going to let that go, get those in this water when they're done, and then we're going to fry up our fish. Okay, so we've got our grouper fillets here that I'm going to pan sear. You see I've got them sitting on a paper towel. One of the tricks to getting a really nice crust on fish when you're pan searing it is to make sure that it's really dry. Because what happens is if it's real wet when it hits that hot oil, it has a tendency to steam. So I've got oil and butter melted down here. I'm going to lay these fillets in. Alright, so you want to just kind of let these sit down in that oil. Now you don't want to start moving them right away because you want that crust to form before you start moving these around. Once that crust forms, you can kind of just give it a little nudge, and if it starts to move, that's how you know it's ready to flip. I'm going to let these go just a little bit longer. and get these out of the pan now. Put them on a paper towel on the spread board. Just to drain off some of that excess oil. And then what I'm going to do to garnish this dish, I've had some of those leftover green onions. So now I'm going to just take those little strips that I cut like that, throw them down in that oil. And get those real nice and crispy. As soon as these crisp up, I'm going to set them over here on this paper towel, and when we get this all plated up, I'm going to do a little stack of these on top. So I'm going to let that finish, and then when we come back, I'm going to plate all this up for you. Alright, so we're ready to get this all plated up. First thing we got to do is get this salad tossed up. Just throw that vinaigrette over that. Just use some tongs, just toss it all together. You can see just real nice, beautiful green color, perfect for summer. Okay, just take a big old helping of that. One more. Alright, so now we're going to go over this with our grouper fillets. Okay. I got 3 today, so I'm just going to cut one in half. There we go. Okay. And then now we've got our chutney. It's all nice and stewed down. Just a little bit of that on top. Then to finish that, I've got those crispy onions here, just right on top. And there you have your completed dish. Real nice pan-seared grouper, beautiful fresh salad, crispy onions on top, the sweetness of that relish. That is a beautiful summer dish right there. I hope you give it an attempt. Let me know how it goes.